Welcome back to another episode of The Road Chose Me. And today, a topic that I keep getting comments about, people keep sending me messages. Everyone seems to be worried that heading out into Latin America or around Africa or wherever, you're going to be a target. And that bad people out there are going to get you based on your vehicle, based on your US license plates, your US passport, all of these kinds of things. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about all of those. I'll tell you some stories from my experience, from people I've bumped into. And towards the end of the video, I'll talk more about what you can do to avoid being a target, if there is such a thing. So if this is something you've worried about, if you want to learn more, stick around. I'll get into all the details right now. So the first thing that I know a lot of people worry about is, will your vehicle make you a target? You know, we put our Max Tracks on the outside, we have solar panels, lots of people have like jerry cans on the roof, and this kind of thing is not normal for locals down in Latin America or around Africa. So there's no doubt about it, it makes it more obvious that you are a foreigner and that this isn't a regular vehicle. But at the same time, you've already got foreign license plates. So your vehicle does stand out, there's no doubt about it, but this isn't something you have to be afraid of or worry about. There aren't just people sitting around waiting to get you, and it's not going to make you a target. You know, people even worry, what if I drive a brand new Land Cruiser 200 series? You know, that's almost a $100,000 vehicle. That's not abnormal. In every country I've ever been to, there were plenty of vehicles worth that and more. You know, there's always expensive Land Cruisers getting around in every country. There are Porsches. I saw some in the DRC, in the Congo. So your vehicle is not somehow magically more expensive or more obvious than other vehicles on the road. And yes, you are a tourist, you are obviously a foreigner, but that's okay. Tons of people around the world are extremely friendly and welcoming to tourists. I will say though, on your vehicle, one thing that I do is I don't have any obvious stickers like this when I'm actually on my expeditions. So, you know, I put these on when I got back to North America, and I've got my Instagram handle and a few things like that. But if I was driving around Africa again, I would take those stickers off. Not that I'm really worried about having trouble, but just that it kind of advertises, you know, you are a foreigner and you are trying to attract attention. I think it's better to try to be a little bit less obvious than that. Also in my safety and security video, I talk quite a bit about how anything on the outside of the vehicle, I'm definitely going to lock, and so nobody can just take the Max Tracks or my spare tire. And anything inside the vehicle that's really important to me absolutely is locked inside steel lock boxes. My passport, my Visa cards, my money, even if someone broke a window, they wouldn't be able to get that stuff. Also worth mentioning, I don't leave my vehicles on the street at night. Even if I'm staying in a town, I will somehow get it into a secure parking lot just to help reduce the chances of a smash and grab. But if you've got this idea that your vehicle is too blingy and it's going to make you a target, I think you need to get that out of your head. That's, you know, Hollywood has put that in there, and it's difficult to film this video without getting political, which leads me into my next one, that your US passport is going to make you a target. So, you know, I feel like that's such a political thing that was used when they say they hate us for our freedom. I think that was used to convince Americans that so many people in the rest of the world hate Americans, and it's just not true. Thousands of people travel all over the world, tons of people drive down to Latin America. I met Americans driving around Africa with their US passports, with US plates on their car, and they weren't having any trouble at all. Nobody was treating them any differently than they were treating me with my Australian passport. And in fact, you know, many times in my life, I drive a US vehicle, I'm a white guy, you know, I'm in Central America or I'm in Africa. Hundreds of times people just assume that I'm American. So I remember clearly in Nigeria, in Cameroon, I'm driving through little dirt street villages, and people on the side of the road, they would say, "Hey, America, welcome, hello." And so even when they assumed that I was American, they still treated me that way. They treated me well, they treated me like a person. So this concept that being American is going to make you a target, again, I really think you need to get that out of your mind and That's just not how it goes down in the real world. And if you are really worried about it and you think, yeah, Dan, you don't know what you're talking about, you're Australian, you know what? Reach out to some Americans who've been around the world. My friends, the Pioneering Spirit on Instagram, they traveled a bunch of Africa in their US vehicle with US plates, with US passports. You know, people like Home on the Highway on Facebook, Ruined Adventures, Lost World Expedition. These are all my friends. They're all American. They all drove the Pan American Highway. Never once were they treated badly because they're American. And, you know, do more research, find more people that have done these kinds of trips and talk to them about their experience. The other one I know people worry about a lot is your license plates that are on your vehicle, and especially American plates, you know, like California, it really says it in big writing. And does that make you a target or does that make you stand out? No, I don't think it does. Again, it's pretty obvious you're a tourist, it's pretty obvious you're not local, but it doesn't mean people are gonna get you or try and target you or something like that. My friends, Lost World Expedition, they had California plates. They spent 4 years driving to Ushuaia at the bottom of South America. Again, they had an amazing trip. People treated them well everywhere they went. So this idea that your license plate is gonna cause you trouble, I don't really think that that's valid. But I do mention in one of my videos, it's well worth securing your license plate because someone might want to take it as a souvenir. If they've never seen a California plate before, they might really like to put it on their wall. So I always put my license plates on with rivets or with like hex bolts that'd be really hard to get off. Just a good little security tip so that nobody will souvenir your license plate. All of that being said though, it's worth telling a little story about a couple that I met who drove down the west coast of Africa. And so they have passports and they have accents from a country that is very similar to where I'm from, but not actually the country that I'm from. And so it's regarded as one of the best passports in the world in terms of visa-free travel and friendliness, and people would be welcoming and all of that kind of stuff. But it turned out they had a horrible time on the west coast of Africa. They hated it. They were scared. They said people were treating them horribly. They paid a whole bunch of bribes. They were sick and tired of getting visas, of crossing borders. All of the things that I keep telling you guys aren't a big deal, for these people, it was an enormous big deal. And so this kind of was a big disconnect for me. And luckily I got to camp with them when I was down in Southern Africa. They came down the west coast way faster than me, so they caught up to me. And we'd been chatting online for months, but we camped together for a couple of nights. And in all honesty, it took me about 3 minutes to realize why they'd had such a terrible trip. And to be honest with you, they just were not nice people. They were treating the people along the way terribly. So when they showed up at borders, they didn't walk up to people and say, "Hello, how are you? I would like to cross your border, please. Here is my passport." They would just rudely say, "I want a stamp. Hurry up. I'm in a hurry. Stop making me wait. You know, it's not okay that you're on lunch break." And they did this for their entire trip. Every time they got stopped at a military checkpoint, they were rude, they were angry, they started making demands, they started threatening the military guys, saying they were going to call the embassy, they were going to get them in trouble. This was their entire trip, and guess what? They had a terrible time. And so the moral of this story, what I want to teach you guys is, how your vehicle looks, the license plate you have, the passport that you carry, they matter very, very little in terms of how people are going to treat you. It turns out people all around the world, they are going to treat you similarly to how you treat them. It really is that simple. If you keep a smile on your face, if you're friendly and you hand over your US passport, there's not going to be any problem. They're not going to treat you badly just because you have a US passport. But if I treat them badly and give them my Australian passport, yeah, they're going to treat me badly in return because I'm being mean and nasty, so they're going to be mean and nasty back. So it's not like my passport is some sort of magic ticket that works better than yours. It's actually just being a nice person that works better than being a rude person. But that's okay. Smile on your face, big handshake. "Hey guys, nice to see you. Thanks for letting me in your country." That's going to do an enormous amount to disarm everything, and everyone will be like, "Oh, these people are actually really relaxed and friendly, and they're pretty happy just to like hang out in the shade with us, and they're not rude or impatient like we thought they were going to be." So really, really important. That will determine your trip so much more than anything else you can do. Treat people really well and kindly, and they're going to do the same to you in return. So I hope that video has been helpful and it's helped you understand better and realize that this idea of being a target, it really doesn't make any sense, and it's just not how it works in the real world. Remember that many, many thousands of people drive down to South America every year, well, before coronavirus, with their US license plates. And it's extraordinarily rare for people to have trouble. So don't just imagine that if you drive down there, suddenly you're going to be attacked and that there's going to be bad people galore to get you. That's just not real life. So if this video has been helpful, please do hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. New videos come out every Monday and Thursday. And again, a huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. Click the link down in the description, head over to Patreon. From just $2 a month, you can help me bring these videos to life, and you'll get yourself some exclusive perks as well, some things that people here on YouTube don't get access to. So thanks again, Patreon supporters. Thanks again very much for watching. And as always, stay safe, and maybe I'll bump into you on the road.